We not only see beautiful images of Jesus, excuse my little text word there, we see not only beautiful images of Jesus, but we also see ones that emphasize the pain he experienced. And if you look through different centuries, you know, there are different pictures of Jesus on the cross. When things are going really great, Jesus tends to get real good looking up there. And when things are going bad, things are tough, we tend to see Jesus looking like things are pretty tough up there. I mean, the iconography and the sculptures of Jesus during the Black Plague looked like Jesus had the Black Plague. We see pictures of Jesus on the cross, and Jesus is black or Japanese, because that's what we need to see at various times to recognize that God is with us, and that if God can accept being human in Jesus, then maybe we can learn to embrace being human too. And so we are learning to embrace life as it is. That's what I think the depth of the Christian tradition is about. And we do this in the Episcopal Church and in other churches through baptism. The imagery of baptism is that you die and are reborn. And that you not only did that once when you're a baby or when you're an adult, but you actually consciously remember every day that when you were baptized, you died and were reborn. And that's a way of engaging life in its vulnerability and mortality. We eat the Holy Eucharist together, the Lord's Supper. There's lots of names for it. We share a little bread of wine, a little poker chip, right? And a shot glass, right? Although most of the time we don't use shot glasses in the Episcopal Church, but you know, it's a great image anyway. Okay, so the Holy Eucharist, we have a little bit of wine, a cheese and crackers, and sort of thing, you know. Why do we do that? We're eating a meal from a dude who died. And in doing that, in having that meal, we learn to engage life as it is a little bit more and feel ourselves accepted by God in the midst of that life. The God in the midst of all the suffering of life is right with us and in us. The big news, as we're coming to the end here, is that God is committed to loving and healing the world. I believe, for myself, my engagement with my mom's illness, that made me a theologian from the age of 5.5. To me, theology is not just something you do on the side. To me, theology is a contact sport. Theology is how I grapple with life and what life is like. And I have come in engagement with the tradition, engagement with people in it, to believe that God is committed to loving and healing the world. I've come to believe that a part of our healing is to participate in God's healing of the world. It's not just a chore to do on the side, but it's the way we see our whole life, that we're taking a part with God in that. And lastly, this is my little creed, that God won't stop until all things are made new. So what we see here is kind of a story, isn't it? It's not so much a philosophy, a bunch of logical statements that we can prove or disprove, but it's a story. And that's precisely what the Hebrew Scripture is. That's what our tradition is a story. And that story deeply forms our life.